15 years ago, he left his village, with a ring as a symbol of his tribe, a necklace from his late grandfather, a passport that holds within it his history, and a recipe that has challenged him in many ways and shapes.
I'm preparing a traditional meal called orji. It's a welcome meal that we serve to guests, and also very special guests. There are 3 different stages of it. My grandfather, of course, taught me this when I was 8 years old. Imagine having eating tough meat in combination with chili, and then of course cola nuts, and then of course eggplant. They do have some sort of hot bitterness that goes with it, a toughness, which for many people is not pleasant. The first course is actually a test of character. It's a test of strength and courage, and for the local people, for the simple man, it's good to serve them something you believe they can more or less handle. But the moment you move into the territory of very important people within a family, in a clan, then of course tribal leaders, you expect them to be very strong, people, and people with great character. And people with great character and strength have to be tested beyond their limits. Every time I cook this meal for my first guest or for anyone that I cook a meal for the first time, it always reminds me of the person that taught me everything I know. When my grandfather taught me how to make it, he was basically passing on a message, an indirect message, basically teaching me that everything is simple as long as you see it from that point of view. And when it comes to the challenges that people have within their lives, it is because we challenge ourselves. It's all based on choice. And so being a very simple dish, it is a message to keep life very simple. But within the dish itself, when you combine these 3 different elements, in this case the tough meat, your jaws, your teeth has to go through that exercise of actually tearing the meat off the bone. Your tongue has to withstand the heat that comes from the chili, and finally the bitterness that comes from the eggplant and the cola nut. I mean, that in itself is a test. I've actually lived the process of orji. Life is simple, just like the process of orji. It's very simple to prepare it. Anyone can easily be born into it. But at the moment you're in it, you have to go through several loops. You have to go through life. Life is challenging. Life is difficult. And like orji itself, it is tough within it. It's bitter. It is very hot, and it's hard. It's a tradition that has that is challenging. That will challenge a man to the very end of the earth, through simple means. But the good news is, there's always something good waiting for you on the other side. You just have to make it through life. Life being simple is challenging, always has been. So it's nothing new. But the rewards are great. And going home, for me, is the biggest reward. After 15 years, I believe I've lived my recipe, and orji is my recipe.